George Lucas advice for Star Wars Han Solo movie revealed by director Ron Howard. Ron Howard reveals the advice George Lucas gave him when he hired on to replace Lord and Miller as director of Solo, a Star Wars story. Disney famously fired the Solo movie's original directors when the film was already largely finished, tapping the Oscar-nominated Howard to execute extensive tone-adjusting reshoots. Howard did his job as Disney asked, delivering a Han Solo standalone film that went on to gross $393 million worldwide on a massive budget of $250 million. A deeply disappointing performance from the studio's point of view. 7 years after putting his name to the first Star Wars film to ever bomb at the box office, Howard has looked back on the experience, addressing the problems the studio had with the film as directed by Lord and Miller, and revealing the advice he got from franchise creator Lucas, via Vulture. Howard then revealed the advice Lucas gave him. Solo's legacy will always be one of failure, given its awful box office performance. Disney was forced to completely change their Star Wars strategy after the movie tanked, putting the brakes on standalone origin films, while announcing a policy against recasting iconic franchise characters. Howard himself has always said he enjoyed making Solo and was happy with the finished product, but thinks maybe the origin story approach was the wrong way to go, telling Enemy back in 2022. Howard had a tall task in completing Solo, ultimately reshooting much of the Star Wars movie, while adding new material. The film as released seemed more interested in catering to older fans than doing as Lucas advised and aiming at 12-year-old boys, a fact Howard seems to partly acknowledge in calling the movie too nostalgic. A less nostalgic Solo with more humor and a more kid-friendly tone may indeed have done better at the box office than the movie Howard delivered to Disney. Interestingly enough, Lord and Miller seem to be on that track with their own more lighthearted take on Solo, but the studio seemingly steered the project toward delivering safe, serious fan service. It seems now that Lucas' advice for Howard may have actually been spot on. It was Disney who failed to listen, arguably dooming Solo, a Star Wars story, to box office failure. It can also be argued that Solo never had a real chance to succeed, no matter who directed it and what tone it was given. It's possible that the origin story plan was bad from the beginning, notwithstanding the massive box office success of the prequel movie Rogue One. Disney's plans for Star Wars going forward show they're indeed out of the origin story business, instead greenlighting sequels focusing on fan-favorite characters like The Mandalorian, Grogu, and Rey, while going ahead with new stories like Star Wars: Starfighter, starring Ryan Gosling. It's yet to be seen whether future Star Wars films will stick to Lucas' Solo, a Star Wars story advice, and aim for fun-seeking 12-year-olds instead of nostalgic 50-year-olds.